by the time of you guys watching this, I'm actually in Spain, but all of these recordings are from a couple days ago. And basically, this video is all about the key differences between Minecraft 1.8 PvP and Minecraft 1.20. Because obviously, a lot of you might know I started with 1.8 and kind of mained it for a lot of time. And I'm relatively new to 1.20. I'm still learning it, and I'm definitely by no means a pro, and I'm sure a lot of people are probably going to correct me on what I say in this video and probably critique how I play. But this video isn't really for the pros. This is kind of for the people who are in the same boat as me. So for example, the people who play bedwars, who want to try and transition into stuff like hoplite and 1.20, or just 1.8 players that don't really know how to play 1.20, or just people who have no idea how to play 1.20 PvP. The game mode I'm currently playing right now is called UHC, which kind of has a bit of everything, and it's pretty similar to hoplite. I'm on minemen as well playing it right now. They have a modern version, which is pretty fun. So let's quickly get the basics of both 1.20 and 1.8 down. 1.8 is a lot of clicking as fast as you can, a good bit of aim, W tapping, and jump resetting, I'd say, is the main things. Hotkeying is also important. For 1.20 though, there's 3 different types of hits. So there's sweep hit, a sprint hit, and then a crit. All of these have like different sounds, so you can kind of tell when you're doing one. The sweep effect I just did then, so you see that little white line, it's like a little sweep. That doesn't do as much damage as a sprint hit, which is like a W tap hit, kind of. And then a crit, well, everyone knows what a crit is. It's where you jump down and hit them. So like I say, I'm by no means an absolute guru when it comes to 1.20 PvP, or really even 1.8 PvP, but I'd like to think I know a little bit, and the whole point of this video is to try and help people who have no idea what they're doing. Because about a month ago, that literally would have been me. I had no idea how to play 1.20 PvP, and had never really thought about playing it. However, when I started learning, I actually really enjoy playing it. But yeah, just to recap, there's 3 different hits. So a sweep hit, a sprint hit, and a crit. Understanding the difference between the 3 of them is actually very important, and in PvP, you want to try and get as many sprint hit and crit hits as you can. And then things like lava placing and cobweb placing comes along with that. Also, I'd make sure to have water in your hotbar too, because that gets rid of cobwebs and also fire ticks from like lava, etc. As you can see, I do one of the smartest lavas of all time, just placing it straight in water. I'm still learning too, guys. I'm by no means perfect at 1.20 PvP, as I sweep hit a bunch there too, but I do get some nice crits off, and eventually get him in a cobweb, which is really good. Practice makes perfect with this version, I'm gonna be honest. It's extremely movement and aim dependent, which I think is better, because ultimately, probably the better PvPer wins most of the time. But if there's any like pros in the comment section, please do comment any helpful tips and tricks that you've learned along the way of playing, because if I showed myself this PvP like maybe a month ago, I would have been like, oh my god, what is going on? But because I've been playing a decent amount of hoplite and actually playing 1.20, this seems kind of normal, and it's what I'm actually able to do on a daily basis. But yeah, 1.8 and 1.20 PvP are definitely very different, and they feel very different. One thing as well is make sure to not spam click like you would on 1.8, because that will do 0 damage. Literally 0 damage on 1.20. There's lots of different things. So like in UHC and 1.8, rods are like kind of huge and block placements. But in 1.20, it's slightly different. So things like cobwebs, lava placements, and water placements are still very good and helpful. Things like offhanding stuff like crossbows, your golden apples, etc. However, I don't really do it in this video. Also, I'm ignoring the elephant in the room. I'm now a left-handed PvPer because I didn't know this. But apparently, whichever eye is your dominant eye, and there's like ways to test it, I can't remember what it is, but just search online if you want to find out what your dominant eye is. Whichever side is your dominant eye, you should have that as your main hand for Minecraft. So my left eye is my dominant eye, and the whole time I've been playing right-handed as PvPing, and I can definitely say, as a left-handed PvPer, it does help. There is a difference. And later on in the video, I'll show you some different servers of me PvPing on it, like Hoplite, where there's like legendary weapons and stuff, and how these tips kind of transfer over to any sort of 1.20 PvP. Things like jump resetting and W tapping are still pretty prevalent in 1.20. Probably not so much as 1.8, but it definitely does help. Things you're going to want to learn as well is crit chaining. Like, as I'm getting crit change, you can kind of see it does a lot of damage. It's probably the best way of doing damage to someone. Also, there's good techniques with like cobweb and then placing lava on top of the cobweb. It's like a really, really OP strat. Low ground as well, as you can see here, I'm just getting low grounded like crazy by Noah. But I've actually had a lot of fun learning 1.20 PvP, and it makes me want to start speedrunning too, because that's obviously on the newer versions, and now that I can kind of PvP, I kind of want to see if I can start speedrunning. So do let me know in the comments if you want to see me start speedrunning. Like I say, I've been learning 1.20, so anyone who's been playing bedwars their whole life and just wants to move slightly away, or someone who's just a 1.8 PvPer that wants to get good at 1.20, honestly, just give it a go. Like, if you've just got decent mechanics and, like, decent movement, 1.20 will be a breeze, because it's less CPS based and a lot more aim and movement, which ultimately is kind of skill. I definitely say it's easier to get half decent at 1.20 than it is for 1.8, because if you can't click on 1.8, you're kind of screwed unless you have god aim, whereas 1.20, you can kind of be bad and just time one crit and do just as much as someone doing like 3 sweep hits. But yeah, as you can see, I'm on hoplite now, so things like hotkeying and using like legendary weapons is really fun. Probably more fun than those UHC duels because it just adds more variation. A more intense and crazy duel, which is definitely more up my street. Once again, I am by no means a pro at 1.20, but I have been getting better, so I'm definitely not awful. And, yeah, I'm trying to keep learning. So, again, if anyone has any crazy tips and tricks on 1.20, do let me know. But a nice little combo here, and, yeah, like I say, I'm just learning the strats down, and anyone can, bro. This isn't like a Motivation Monday video on, like a Friday. I think I'll upload this, I don't know. But, yeah. Genuinely, anyone can do this PvP, and just give it a go, man. At first, I thought this PvP kind of sucked, because it's like, it's so much less intense, but once you understand it, it's definitely not, and it's way more entertaining, and a lot more skill-based, because you're not relying on CPS, you're relying on your aim, movement, and just, like, knowledge of PvP, so, like, crit chaining and stuff like that. And once again, things like cobwebs, lava placements, etc, etc. And even axe PvP, like this Mjolnir is a retextured netherite axe, I think. Or something like that. And axe PvP is very different. Like, look how I'm playing. I'm just going for one trade, running, one trade, running. And it's just different types of PvP. It's a lot more exciting rather than just straight 20 CPS sword PvP. But yeah, I definitely recommend giving 1.20 a go if you haven't already. And certainly hoplite, because, once again, it's a server that's helped me get a lot better. And, yeah. I also want to say thank you for all the recent support. As you can see, I'm going crazy in this Katana v Katana duel, kind of, as I'm getting comboed by Noah. But, as you can see, I mess up my lavas a lot. That's one thing I need to work on, and also, I sometimes spam my cobwebs. You gotta be very careful with using them. However, that was a nice combo. I accidentally TP'd there. I didn't actually mean to, but... Also, one important tip that I would say as well is stack up on healing. So, always make sure you're basically max health on 1.20, because you want to try and commit to combos as best as you can, and S-tapping is actually like a smart thing. So, almost S-hold if you're in a combo. Like, if you're in a combo, just S-hold out. I know it's, like, bad in, like, 1.8 boxing, but in 1.20, S-holding is, like, you need to do it. If you're getting comboed, you need to get out that combo, and S-holding is the best way. So, always learn S-tapping. S-tapping is big for 1.20, I would say. And just learning, like, your distances. Because if you 3-block hit everything, you'll absolutely cut the people you're against. And this is coming from someone who's not even, like, a PvP guru on 1.20. See, well, there's a good example. But I do also cook every now and then. Noah is also very good at boxing, so it kind of transfers over pretty nicely for a dual-like sword. But nonetheless, I still give it my all and get some nice crits off and do pretty well in this duel. Nice crits there. But again, if your aim's just slightly decent, you can seriously cook on 1.20. And if you haven't given it a go, once again, all I can suggest is just give it a go. But yeah, enough talk about PvP. I'm currently in Spain. Well, actually, Gran Canaria. It's like a little island off the coast of Spain. And I'm probably going to be eating lots of ice cream. So comment your favorite ice cream, guys. I really like Kinder ice cream. I don't know if you've ever tried it. I always get it whenever I'm abroad, but never at home. Because England just doesn't have that. But yeah, hopefully I don't come back absolutely massive. By massive, I don't mean strong. I mean insanely overweight. I doubt I will, though, because I just have a stupidly good metabolism. But, I mean, fingers crossed I don't eat too much ice cream. Anyways, I'm going alone as well. Airports are kind of intimidating, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And then finally, I'm on MCC Island. These clips are pretty funny. So it's a knockback sword, but I just want to show like how this transfers over to different servers. Like, I don't really know how to play MCC Island that well, but I literally almost wiped their whole team with a knockback sword by just hitting them into lava with just decent positioning and aim. And then we lose the second round, but that's because it was just very cringe. You don't need to see what happened. However, this was a pretty good clutch. I get hit over the lava there, and then once again, kind of game sense, just turn and hit him straight into the lava, and actually juke that other guy and kill the other one, which then leaves our team to win the game, and I actually get first individual, which is pretty cool. But if you guys did enjoy this video and find anything useful, consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. I appreciate it. See you guys in the next video.